All right, folks, it's time to start the show. Glad to have you all out here. It's my first time at the Music in the Park series for Savage here. But I'm glad to be here. I'm Vinnie Rose. Thanks for coming out to the show, and we're going to have fun. All right. All right, and with that applause, I'm done for the evening, so thanks for coming out to the show. You know, quit while you're ahead. But we're going to start this off right. Here's some Elvis to get us going. Well, that's all right, your mama. Well, that's all right with you. That's all right, your mama. Just be any way you do. That's all right. That's all right. That's all right now, mama. Any way you do. Oh, mama, don't you done told me. Papa, don't you done told. Boy, that girl you're fooling with, she ain't no good for you. And that's all right. That's all right. That's all right now, mama. Woo! Anyway you do. Well, I'm leaving town, baby, and I'm leaving town for sure. And you won't be bothered with me hanging around your door. And that's alright. That's alright. That's alright now, mama. Anyway you do. Come on, guitar. Show. Then you won't be bothered with me hanging on your door. That's alright. That's alright. That's alright now, mama. Any way you do. Come on, guitar. Well, I'm leaving town, baby, and I'm leaving town for sure. And you won't be bothered with me hanging around your door. And that's alright. That's alright. That's alright now, mama. Any way you do. Thanks, everybody. All right, this next song is going to be an original. I've got a couple different CDs that are out, and they're all for sale tonight for $10 a piece. This one is off my second album called Cold Wind Blowing. This is Breakdown. A break, we're having a breakdown. A break, you know we're having a breakdown. You know we ain't been talking. And there's that bad feeling going around. Take, it's coming to take down. Ooh, take, you know it's coming to take down. There ain't been no loving. Ooh, and there's that bad, bad feeling going around. Morning light through the window, and there ain't a sound. Midnight calling out the hour, you ain't nowhere to be found. If I do see you, baby, you don't give me no smile. You just give me the look and you stare me down. And I said, take, It's coming to take down. It's coming to take down. My days are numbered. Oh, and there's that bad, bad feeling going round. All right, so. Tried to tell you I was sorry. I tried to tell you I was wrong. Tried to give you my love and even wrote to this song. But you ain't had nothing of it, baby. Just say there's nothing left to say. Pretty soon it'll be over. Pretty soon one day. Take, it's coming to take down. It's coming to take down. My days are numbered. Oh, and there's a bad, bad feeling going around. My days are numbered. Oh, and there's a bad, bad, bad feeling. Oh, and there's a bad, bad, bad feeling. Oh, and there's a bad, bad, bad feeling. Oh. Awesome. Well, we got a great night for a show, folks. This is just beautiful. And it's my first time here. I had no idea where I was going to set up. I kind of came to the parking lot earlier. I'm looking around, and then I came out. I actually went back to the website and read that it's on the deck here, and it's just gorgeous back here. And I'm really lucky. I thought I was going to be the one on that side in the sun, kind of facing this way. So I feel really lucky, and I know you guys are suffering through a little hot, little humid evening, so I appreciate it. But it's just all beautiful here. If you looked on the website, the Savage City website, it classified me as a rock, country, and jazz guitarist too, which is great because most of the times when I set up my promo kits at different places, it's either rock or country or maybe both. But very rarely do they put jazz in there, which is great because I love playing jazz music. I'm trained as a jazz musician. But just like Les Paul said, if anyone remembers Les Paul guitars back in the day, he went from playing pop music to jazz, and back in the 40s, he said he went from making $50 a week to $5 a week playing jazz. So it's not easy to make a living off of. I bet probably none of your kids here listen to jazz frequently, or you'd mention the name Miles Davis or Frank Sinatra, and kids under 30 have no idea who you're talking about. But anyways, I'm going to do a jazz song, maybe a couple tonight. This one doesn't need an introduction. I think you'll figure out what this one is pretty quick here. Summertime and the living is easy. fish are jumping and the cotton tie. Your daddy's rich and your mama's good looking. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. One of these mornings you're gonna rise up singing, and you'll spread your wings and take to the sky. But till those mornings, there's nothing gonna harm you, with mommy and daddy standing by. Summertime and that living is easy. Fish are jumping. In one of these mornings, you're gonna rise up singing. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. Summertime and the living is easy. Fish are jumping in the cotton tie. Oh, your daddy's rich and your mama's good looking. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. One of these mornings, oh, you're gonna rise up singing. Then you'll spread your wings and take to the sky. But till that morning, there's nothing gonna harm you, with mommy and daddy standing by. Thank you. We don't really have too many great, when you think of jazz singers, you always think of Ella Fitzgerald or people of that nature, maybe Billie Holiday, Sinatra, of course. But you know, there wasn't too many African-American male jazz singers that come to mind, maybe Joe Williams or something like that. But I certainly love singing, and I probably have more of a Sinatra. Bobby Darin's kind of my jazz singer that I like a lot. But anyways, that's a little bit of jazz music, and we'll just move right along. Some of you might be musically astute and noticed that I had a bass guitar kind of going behind me. And then, you know, I kind of let my hands off. That bass guitar kept going, and then I played some other guitar stuff. And I'll talk about that a little bit later. But just so you know, there's no backup tracks going on here. I'm making this all up from scratch. It's all what they call live looping. So sometimes I get called a one-man band, which kind of fits. But a one-man band is usually someone that, you know, dials in something on their computer and hits play, and then they kind of play along to what's already previously recorded. But what I'm doing here is all done live. It's multi-tracking, and so I'll put one part down. I'll just talk about it now. I'll put one part down, and then I'll hit the button again, and it will play back what I just recorded, but it allows me to record over what I just did. And then I can hit the button again, and then I can record another thing over it. Like in that last song, I had a bass guitar part, and then two other guitar parts going on, and then I played a solo over the top of it, so I had 4 different things going on. I'll do this now. I usually save this for the end, but I'll do it now just because it makes sense as I'm explaining it. This is an Ed Sheeran song. This is on the radio. You've probably heard it if you listen to any radio at all. This is called The Shape of You, And the reason why I do this song, not necessarily because I like this song, but it really demonstrates how this guitar pedal works and how I can make it sound like more than one guitar. All right, so far I got 2 parts. Let's add the bass. Now bass guitar. At this point, I start to lose track of how much I got going. I think that's 5. I gotta put in 6 though, so here's 6. This is the best place to find a lover, so the bar is where I go. Me and my friends at the table doing shots, drinking fast, and then we talk slow. Come over and start a conversation with just me, and trust me, I'll give it just now. Take my hand, stop the band and the man, the jukebox, and then we start to dance. And I'm singing like, girl, you know I want your love. Your love was handmade for somebody like me. Come on now, follow my lead. I might be crazy, don't mind me. Say, boy, let's not talk too much. Grab out my waist and put that body on me. Come on now, follow my lead. Come on now, follow my lead. Ooh, I'm in love with the shape of you. You push and pull like a magnet do. Although my heart is falling too. I'm in love with your body. And last night you were in my room. Now my Bible smells like you. Every day discovering something brand new. I'm in love with your body. Oh, I, oh, I, oh, I, oh, I. I'm in love with your body. Oh, I, oh, I, oh, I, oh, I. I'm in love with the body. Oh, I, oh, I, oh, I, oh, I. I'm in love with the body. Every day discovering something brand new. I'm in love with the body. One weekend we let the store begin. We're going out on our first date. Me and you so filthy we go all can eat. Fill up your bag and I fill up a plate. We talk for hours and hours about the sweet and the sour, about if family is doing okay. Even getting the taxi, then kissing the backseat till the driver make the radio play. And I'm singing like, girl, you know I want your love. Your love was handmade for somebody like me. Come on now, follow my lead. I might be crazy, don't mind me. Say, boy, let's not talk too much. Grab out my waist and put that body on me. Come on now, follow my lead. Come on now, follow my lead. Ooh, I'm in love with the shape of you. You push and pull like a magnet do. Although my heart is falling too. I'm in love with the body. And last night you were in my room. Now my Bible smells like you. Every day discovering something brand new. I'm in love with the body. Oh, I, oh, I, oh, I, oh, I. I'm in love with the body. Oh, I, oh, I, oh, I, oh, I. I'm in love with the body. Oh, I, oh, I, oh, I, oh, I. I'm in love with the body. Every day discovering something brand new. I'm in love with the body. Love was handmade for somebody like me. Come on now, follow my lead. I might be crazy, don't mind me. Say, boy, let's not talk too much. Grab out my waist and put that body on me. Come on now, follow my lead. Come on now, follow my lead. Oh, I'm in love with the shape of you. You push and pull like a magnet do. Although my heart is falling too. I'm in love with the body. And last night you were in my room. Now my bedroom feels like you. Every day discovering something brand new. It's just that simple, folks. That's how you be an Ed Sheeran. It's all electronics. It's all. Someone came out. I did a show for Roseville Music in the Parks last night, and some guy comes up. All you're doing up there is smoke and mirrors. I said maybe he's right. Maybe he's got a point. I don't know. But that's how live looping works. You can make it sound like one man band. So Savage, man, I used to drive through Savage all the time because when I just had my birthday yesterday. Anybody want to guess my age? 21? No, good grief. I'm 39. Yeah. It's the haircut, exactly. It's my $46 haircut with the tip haircut. Yeah, that's what it is. But anyways, but back in my early 20s and late teens, I played out at Valley Fair. So I drove all the way from Farmington 4 summers in a row, and I had to drive on 13 right through Savage every single day, 6 days a week, 7 shows a day, the same music every day. And so I love your town. I've ate at all the different restaurants under the different names. You guys have done some great revitalization. I didn't even know you guys had this part of town. All I know is 13 out here. This is all new to me. But it was really fun. And, of course, Lavon's music. Everybody heard of Lavon's music downtown? I know all those guys. Those guys helped get me started playing. And took a couple guitar lessons back there, kind of informally back in the day. So I've got a little bit of connection to this town. And I thought I'd do one of my songs from my hometown, which is Farmington. I wrote this song. It's called Hometown. It's not a very original name, but I think you'll like it. So I don't know if anyone here has Savage as your hometown, or maybe close to here. But everyone has a hometown, so maybe you'll relate to this. Been 15 years since I've been back to this place. Things don't look the same, like my time's been erased. The buildings all look different and some have disappeared. This town's much larger now, but I'm glad I'm here. This is my hometown. I went back to the park, but they put in a new bridge. They took out my favorite one where I carved my initials in. I went back to the DQ where I used to eat for free. This time I paid $5.95 for some melted ice cream. I went back to my school to pay some respect, but they're all retired now, passed away or they've left. I went back to my old house and gave it a good stare. Outside in the front yard, new kids were there. This is my hometown. This is my hometown. Went back to the park, but they put in a new bridge. 'Cause they took out my favorite one where I carved my initials in. Before I left town, I went to the bar on the edge of town. And I've never been here before, but I needed to get a drink down. And to my surprise, I found one of my old friends. And time ain't been so good to them. This was our home, that place that we grew up in, and almost everything has changed. Forever our hearts will be the same, 'cause this was our hometown. This was our hometown. This was our hometown. This was our hometown. All right, it's a simple blues song. Well, the south side of Chicago is the baddest part of town. And if you go down there, you better just beware of a man named Leroy Brown. Now Leroy, more than trouble. You know, we stand about 6'4". All the downtown savage ladies call him treetop lover. All the men are just a call. Do they have any downtown savage ladies? No. Bad. Anyways, the baddest man in the whole damn town. Badder than all King Kong. Meaner than a junkyard dog. Well, Leroy, he's a gambler. And he likes his fancy clothes. And he'd like to wave his diamond rings in front of everybody's nose. He's got a Lincoln Continental. He's got an Eldorado too. He's got a 32 gun in his pocket for fun. He's got a razor in his shoe. And he's bad, bad, Leroy Brown. Baddest man in the whole damn town. Badder than all King Kong. Meaner than a junkyard dog. Well, Friday, about a week ago, old Leroy shooting dice. When at the edge of the bar sat a girl named Doris, and whoo, she looked nice. And he cast his eye upon her, and the trouble soon began. Old Leroy Brown did a messing about a messing with the wife of a jealous man. And he is bad. Leroy Brown, baddest man in the whole damn town. Badder than all King Kong. Meaner than a junkyard dog. Well, the two men took to fighting, and when they pulled him from the floor, old Leroy looked like a jigsaw puzzle with a couple of pieces gone. And he's bad, bad, Leroy Brown, the baddest man in the whole downtown, badder than all King Kong, meaner than a junkyard dog. Badder than all King Kong, meaner than a junkyard dog. Boy, you know, know, anytime that I start sweating like I am now when I'm playing guitar, it's never as bad as the drummer. When you've got a drummer with you, I mean, it could be 65 degrees out, and 45 minutes into the set, they're sweating through their shirts. So I got it easy up there. You know, I can take a break and, you know, move away or something. But the drummers, they got to keep moving all night long, you know. So I ain't got it that bad. I shouldn't be complaining. Okay. Well, I haven't done any country yet, so I better do a country song. 'Cause I'll do a couple different country songs. This first one is, it's kind of like I wouldn't say a tribute, but it has some aromas of Hank Williams in it. But this is a song I wrote. It's on my most recent record, which is called Across the Heartland. I've got 3 different CDs. They're $10 a piece. 2 for $20 or 1 night only, 3 for $30. Just don't tell anybody that I made that deal. If you need a used car, I can get you a used car too. But it's on my recent album called Across the Heartland. And this is a song I wrote about Diane Sawyer's legs. You remember Diane Sawyer? She was in the Nixon administration, then she was on CBS, the news anchor, and in the 90s she anchored the news, and I was really attracted to her. As a 13, 14-year-old boy, I thought she was hot stuff. And so I finally wrote this song about her. It wasn't even supposed to be on the album. We just kind of goofed around in the studio, and then it turned out so good we stuck it on there. So this is all about my unrequited love for Diane. Won't you come this way? Hey, sit yourself and stay. Hey, I think you're nice and sweet. Hey, I think you and I should meet. 'Cause you got legs like a Diane Sawyer, a rockin' body like a Cindy Crawford. Your hair's back, glasses on, dressing all sharp like a lawyer or a hot librarian. You might be too classy for this work and blue collar, but I'm attracted to you just like a duck to water. I can promise you that if you marry me, I'll make you happy. Ooh, 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 we'll be so happy. Don't you run away. Hey, sit yourself and stay. Hey, I think you're nice and sweet. Hey, I think you and I should meet. 'Cause you got legs like a Diane Sawyer, a rockin' body like a Cindy Crawford. Your hair back, glasses on, dressing all sharp like a lawyer or a hot librarian. You're a hottie Bugatti and a little bit naughty. I'm forgetting my name when I'm a-seeing your body. You're tanned up, cooled down, smelling all nice like a candle shop or a morning bakery. It might be too classy for this work and blue collar, but I'm attracted to you just like a duck to water. I can promise you that if you marry me, I'll make you happy. Ooh, 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 we'll be so happy. You know, I tried sending that to Diane Sawyer, but she didn't write back. I don't know what the deal is. She probably thinks I'm some kind of a stalker. Yeah. Anyways, moving on. Well, I got a whole bunch of stuff here. I just don't know what to do. It's all too good. We'll come back. We'll do another country song later here. Just because I was lucky enough to have jazz included in the description of my performance tonight. I'm going to do another jazz song. In March, we had 2 holidays, Mardi Gras and St. Patrick's Day, back to back, week to week. They couldn't keep the detox, places empty. It was just packed. And all the counties made their quota on the DWIs that month. It was crazy. But I do a lot of senior living places and nursing homes and memory care places, independent, semi-independent places too. And I had a gal that wanted me to do some Louis Prima, so I did a Louis Prima song for her. And this goes back to the time of Louis Armstrong. Louis Prima is from Louisiana, New Orleans, if you're from that area, maybe. And was a contemporary of Louis Armstrong. Louis Armstrong was African American. This guy was white, and their music's kind of bounced around each other a little bit. But Louis Prima is known for doing a musical style called jump swing. And kids, if you've ever watched the movie Elf, that newer movie Elf, this song is in there when Elf gets to the big city and he sees all this stuff, and that's where this is from. But this is called "When You're Smiling." It's a really fun jazz song to do, and it starts off with that bass guitar again. You'll kind of hear me do that, and then if I get the timing right, then I got to do the rhythm guitar part next, and it's really hard. It sounds easy, but it's really hard. So you'll notice I'll be staring at the ground because I have to concentrate so hard. Then I'll try and sing it, so we'll see how well this goes. It flopped once when I did this at a show, but hopefully that's not the case tonight. When you're smiling, and the whole world smiles with you. When you're laughing, ha ha ha, laughing, oh, when the sun comes shining through. When you're crying, oh, you bring on the rain. Stop your crying, won't you be happy again? Oh, when you're smiling, keep on smiling, and the whole world smiles with you. When you're smiling, when you're smiling, and the whole world smiles with you. When you're laughing, when you're laughing, oh, when the sun comes shining through. When you're crying, oh, you bring on the rain. Stop your crying, won't you be happy again? Oh, when you're smiling, keep on smiling, and the whole world smiles with you. when you're smiling and the whole world smiles at you. When you're laughing, laughing, oh, and the sun can shine through. When you're crying, oh, you bring on the rain. Stop your crying, won't you be happy again? Oh, when you're smiling, keep on smiling, oh, and the whole world smiles with you. Yeah. Whew. Almost messed that one up. But, you know, there's I guess to, what's the word? To echo the same words as a famous jazz trumpet player. Dizzy, if you know jazz, there's a jazz trumpet player, Dizzy Gillespie, back in the day, right? He's the one that had the trumpet that the bell got bent in his case, and anyways, and he had the big cheeks like this when he played. Anyways, he was interviewed when he was like 75, and they said, you know, I don't remember what the question was, but his reply was, you know, the older I get better at hiding my mistakes. And that's so true. If you're a musician or know anything about the arts, that's about it. You just kind of got to roll with whatever happens there. So, well, we got about 15 minutes left here, so I'm going to do another country song. This is a song I wrote. This is called Lake Country, and it's on my first record I did, which is called The American Dream. Actually, a bunch of people have records out right now, or songs, local artists that have that title, The American Dream, or some type of hybrid of that. And so we must have all been thinking about that a couple years ago. And this one is written about, think of yourself, it's Friday, maybe it's 4:30 at your day job, and it's in the middle of summer, and all you can think about is going up to the lake. And you're so excited about going to the lake that you look at the minute hand on the clock and you swear the thing starts going backwards. And you just can't wait. And then you finally get out of work and you get on the freeway and it's packed, you know, and you're just chomping at the bit. And then you hit some back roads maybe, and as you're driving on the back roads, all you can do is think about that first beer and that first marshmallow by the campfire, and you're listening to the CCO, listening for the fishing, you know, opening report maybe. And then you just can't wait to get up. That's what this song's all about. This is called Lake Country. Lake Country, I'm coming for you. I'm working myself just to get back home to you. Lake Country, I'm headed for you. I'm counting down a minute just to get myself to you. Well, it's 5 o'clock on Friday. I'd rather be there if I had my way, but the boss has got me working, keep me from you. I can taste that country air. It's a carrying away my cares. I think I'll step out through the door and head up north to you. Lake Country, I'm coming for you. I'm working myself just to get back home to you. Lake Country, I'm trucking for you. I'm tearing down the road cause I'm in love with you. Well, it's backed up on the freeway, on the back roads of way I'll see me. I got the pedal to the metal, I'm tearing up the road for you. Every lake in town I pass, I get a little heavier on that gas. Hit the red line, pin the needle, I'm coming in fast. Lake Country, I'm trucking for you. Tear another road cause I'm in love with you. Lake Country, I'm trucking for you. I'm counting down a minute just to get myself to you. Only 5 more miles to go and I'll be there, don't you know? I got the radio bumping, rocking all the way to you. And there's cold ones in the cooler, just wishing I could get there sooner. Gonna dig in the country roads, get me back home, take me home. Lake Country, country. Hey, yeah. All right, guitar. Thank you. That's Lake Country, an original song there. And that's on my American Dream. That's the one that it's on. Yes, that's it. Well, I think we've done just about every kind of music here. We've done jazz, rock and roll. We did some blues. We did some country. Am I forgetting anything here? I don't know. Sometimes I forget stuff. Oh, we should do this one. Not only am I 39, people don't believe that, but then I tell people I've been married 17 years. And before I tell them my age, they say, 17 years, what the heck, did you get married when you were 9? I said, no, that'd be disgusting. I was at least 11. But sometimes my wife, who is amazingly beautiful, I'm such a lucky man. We've got that on camera now. She's great, she's amazing. She sometimes helps me write my set lists. And I was singing the song at home, and she said, man, you have to do that for your summer concerts. You have to, because it kind of, there's a better word for it, but it epitomizes what summer is, the quintessential summer tune. So we're going to do a Beach Boys song, and I'm going to demonstrate to you. It's very hard to sing the Beach Boys as a soloist because you got 4-part harmony. And you have a bass way down there, and you got the way up there, the falsetto, and I'm a baritone, so I got to do all these parts at once. So I do have a 3-octave range, but unlike many people that have a 3-octave range, you know, you're getting volume 10. They can sing at a very loud volume that whole way through. Mine goes very small volume to loud to very small, so it's not a very full 3 octaves, but I have it. But I also have this pedal on the ground here that not only does the guitar stuff, but I have a different one that does vocal harmony. So I can sing one note. So I can sing a note like da, and then hit the button da 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 da, which is pretty neat. You get a backup band, and you don't have to pay for the backup band, which is even better. But I use a little help from this pedal down here, and we'll kind of do this one. This is, well, it doesn't need introduction. It does have a false ending in it, so when you think the song's over, be prepared, there's a little bit more. I love the colorful clothes she wears, and the way that sunlight plays upon her hair. I hear the sound of a gentle word on the wind that lifts her perfume through the air. I'm picking up good vibrations. She's giving me exaltation. I'm picking she must be kind. When I look in her eyes, she goes with me to a blossom world. I'm picking up good vibrations. She's giving me exaltations. I'm picking up good vibrations. She's giving me exaltations. Good, 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 good vibrations. Good, 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 good vibrations. Keep those loving good vibrations happening with her. Gotta keep those loving good vibrations happening with her. Gotta keep those loving good vibrations happening with her. All right, folks, that's all I got for the show tonight. Anyways, I'm Vinnie Rose. Thanks for hanging out with me on a nice, beautiful evening like tonight. And if you want a CD, you can come up and get 1 or 2 or 3 of them. They're right up here in front. You can make your own change. Anyways, I'm going to finish this night out with a song by Bo Diddley. But this is a John, I can't remember exactly. George Thorogood did it back in the day, too. Walked 47 miles of barbed wire. Got a clover stake for a necktie. A brand new house on the roadside. It's a man on a rattlesnake hide. A brand new house with a Timmy on top. It's a man on a human skull. Come on, baby, take a walk with me, honey, and tell me who do you love. Here we go. Lonesome Road, if you understand. Rattlesnakes and baby, put 'em on a feet. I got the good time music and the board that they need. Who do you love? Yeah, who do you love? Yeah, who do you love? Woo! Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time. Adios.